Welcome to the National Soccer Network, your home for soccer. One destination, every match, every moment. Built for players, powered by passion. Live games, highlights, and more each and every day. Only on the National Soccer Network.
All right, everybody, welcome back into Inside the Game podcast.
We are a soccer nation.
Have such a deep appreciation for hyper-local, community-based, lower-level soccer. There's going to be millions of fans over here that want to watch and consume as much football as they can.
What you are doing is important. And this is all about, like I said, spreading the gospel. It takes a village, right?
No, I just really appreciate being on here and you being able to provide this platform for, us and all those people grinding away at the lower leagues, just trying to make great things happen. So I really appreciate you, and you guys know what you're doing, and
Welcome on in. It's another USA Knockout World Cup match day. They take on Belgium. Make sure, James, you hit that horn, my man.
I just did it.
Make sure you hit the horn. All right, he said it. All right, my name's Ryan Glinsky, producer James Schofield in the building here today. I think, James, so we did see already a ton of you in the chat already, which make sure you hit the like button. Thank you for tuning in. Subscribe if you haven't already. We are going to put a chat poll out there. Should we start off with the Mexico-Canada stuff based on what they did this past weekend, or should we get into the Flo Balogun immediately in a red card immediately? I don't know which direction we should go, but definitely throw that in there, James. Vote on that, and then before that chat poll concludes, we'll then get into our talking points for today, because we have a jam-packed show today. There is just way too much to talk about, so much stuff to talk about. We're even going to have our exclusive content at the end of the show as well for about 10, 15 minutes. We'll go a little bit more in depth, the ins and outs of the USA versus Belgium. But today we've got so much stuff to talk about. So make sure, is the chat poll up?
I am getting it up right now.
Okay, gotcha. But yeah, no, when the chat poll gets up, make sure you guys vote on it. But yeah, this is what we got to talk about today. We have Canada-Mexico sucks. Flo Balogun's red card. He's finally back with the U.S. men's national team. We'll talk more about that, if it should have happened, shouldn't have happened, whatever it is. All I'll say is it probably shouldn't have happened, but you know what? I could care less, because you know what? I will take it. Oh, yeah, no, there it is. You guys can go in and vote on the chat poll. Whatever you guys want to talk about first. Obviously, USA versus Belgium preview. That's a big matchup here today. Maybe there's some revenge for 2014. Is it rigged for Cristiano Ronaldo? Because that Croatia game, man, that Croatia game was BS. There's no way that was not rigged, because that's a faint PK, and then he just, doesn't touch his head. I don't know. It was stupid. That was rigged for Ronaldo. And then obviously Cape Verde, how unbelievable that was. So we're split right now into 3 votes. Canada and Mexico suck. Flo's red card and rigged for Ronaldo. So everyone has voted at least 3 times. So again, the next vote could change this whole thing. What we talk about first. So please get it in there on what we want to talk about. If it remains for the next minute or so at 33%, we'll just go with what we had planned coming in. Afternoon all, says Dave. Afternoon to you too. Hopefully you didn't stay up too late watching the England match versus Mexico. Because it does look like that was a little bit rough for all the people at home. But it does look like it is going to stay at 33%. Hopefully everyone had a good July 4th weekend. It was jam-packed all over the U.S. Fireworks, boating, hot dogs, burgers, beer, all that fun stuff. Hopefully everyone enjoyed it. Doesn't look like anyone is going to change the vote, so it looks like we are going to start with what we had planned started for the day. Canada and Mexico are garbage. They were horrible in their games this past weekend. Let's start off with Canada. Let's start off with the team that lost on July 4th. Let's start with them. They were horrible the entire game. They were dog shit. And then all of a sudden we've got Jesse Marsch saying, This is where I have issues with Jesse Marsch, man. This is why I don't want him ever to manage the U.S. men's national team. This is why I hate him. He comes out after the game, after they just got BTA'd by Morocco, who did not even play well. Morocco was horrible on the day. They still win 3-0. And Canada had chances, and then Alphonso Davies doesn't play yet again. And he comes out there and says on the mic, I would rather be us than them. Jesse, you barely beat a South Africa team that was horrible. You drew with Bosnia where you should have won the game, but you didn't. You got killed by Switzerland in totality. And then you, what was the other game? Oh, Qatar. The only reason you beat Qatar by that much is because they had 9 guys on the field. You were horrible against Morocco. So you can't come up here and tell me and sit up there and say, I would much rather be us than them. Last time I checked, Morocco made a semifinals of a World Cup last year. You guys have won your first knockout game in ever. You guys have played horrible this entire tournament. You have not struck the fear of any opponent. And then you're also at home in a country where you hosted the World Cup. You guys hosted the World Cup, and then you didn't even win the group. So you didn't even get the USA-Mexico treatment where you guys could play the first 2 knockout games at home. You didn't do that. But Jesse, you guys aren't that good. You can straight up say that. But the Morocco development system is better. They're identifying talent because it's all dual nationals. They can identify that talent better. They're getting better in terms of their academy. You guys still are caring about your USA, or you're losing to the USA in the Olympics. That's what your country's more worried about, losing the gold medal match. So enough with that, Jesse Marsch. Enough with that BS. Because guess what? It is not you're not better than them. And I would much rather be playing, I think anyone that is in the history of sports, or anyone in general, would rather say, yeah, I would much rather be playing in a quarterfinal of a World Cup than be sitting at home and be getting knocked out in the round of 16. Cut the BS, Jesse. Cut the BS. That is exactly why I don't want to be, I don't want this guy to sniff the U.S. men's national team anymore. Because he's a sore loser. He never loses. He just is. He blames everyone else. I did see a tweet on this, and I thought it was great, that they said Jesse Marsch is just Ted Lasso. He's never mad. It's never anyone's fault. He'd much rather be himself. He'd rather just believe. Look, no, that's not how this works, Jesse. You lost. Plain and simple. You lost plain and simple. And you didn't play well at all. And the best part is you lost on the 4th of July as well. So shout out to USA for doing that. Now the bigger story, and the one that I would much rather get into, is the fact that Mexico yesterday. England was absurd yesterday. You're telling me that you can, if you're Mexico, that is the biggest, and I said this yesterday, this is the biggest failure in your federation's history. The biggest failure in Mexico soccer/football history. The curse remains because you didn't win the 5th game, and we talked about that on whatever day it was, that you didn't break the curse simply because of the fact that you didn't qualify to get to the World Cup, so that eliminates a game. The second thing is, you were at home. You are at home in a World Cup, round of 16, and you have an opportunity to beat one of the big boys. You're up a man for 40 minutes because you have 11 minutes of stoppage time. It went to like 12 or 13 based on all the corners. So you had 40 minutes up a man. You then give away a PK, which if you just didn't switch off of it, that doesn't happen. And then you get gifted another PK, which, again, I've seen that foul given, not given. I still think it's a foul. I think the referee got everything right. I think it was clearly a red card. I think that was a PK yesterday. So you got everything handed to you. This was your man of the match. This was your man of the match. Your players didn't do anything. And then you guys had the greatest game plan in the history of game plans. Let's just cross the ball into where England's got 6'7", no pun intended, Dan Burn, he really is 6'7". John Stones is tall. Jordan Pickford is punching everything. He's winning the ball. Yeah, let's just keep serving balls into the box. Let's just keep doing that. Instead of maybe creating in and around the box, maybe a couple little 1-2s, little quick combination plays. No, let's just keep serving the ball into the box. Your corners were horrible. You generated no offense when you got up a man. The only offense you generated was on a feint PK. That was all you generated. And you were at home. And if I had to hear one more time about the damn altitude, every 10 minutes it was, well, the altitude of this stadium is going to affect England. Did it really affect England? Did the altitude clearly affect England? No, it didn't. They were down a man, and they still won the game comfortably. Mexico didn't threat it all. The closest they had to scoring a goal was when John Stones pushed it past the post. That was the closest they got to scoring up a man. Mexico did nothing. And you will never have an opportunity like that ever again. At home, the altitude, up a man, and against one of the big boys that you had on the ropes for 40 minutes. And your game plan was this? Cross the ball in the box, cross the ball into the box. Yeah, they're 6'7", 6'4", 6'3". Yeah, let's just keep doing that. Maybe instead of let's be creative in around the box and try to get those clumsy defenders out of position. Maybe let's do that. But no. Let's complain about everything else. And every time there's a foul, let's just complain to the referee. That's why that's why everyone doesn't like Mexico. And you guys were making me root for England. I don't like England. The only reason I like England is because they've got Declan Rice, Bukayo Saka, Noni Madueke, and Eberechi Eze on it. That is the only reason why I like. That's why I like England, is because they've got my Arsenal boys on it. Outside of that, I could care less about this team. But you, Mexico, made me root for them yesterday because you guys complain every time you get fouled. Every time you get touched, it's screaming. You have to get up in the face of Harry Kane because you fouled the dude. And then every time you get fouled, you're rolling around on the floor. And you couldn't generate any offense yesterday. You couldn't generate anything. Dave in the chat, which if you have any thoughts on any of the games that happened this past weekend, make sure to get in there. Dave, Cape Verde game was the best of the tournament so far. Again, I was casually watching that one with the USLW playoffs going on and commentating. I did see the goals go in, but other than that, it was kind of a casual watch for me. Next comment from Dave, which he is a member, by the way. Shout out our member, Dave. We have to get Dave a t-shirt, man. We got to get Dave a t-shirt. Also, England doesn't work on my TV. Mexico doesn't work on my TV, but it worked yesterday. So, again, I don't want England to win, but I would much rather see England beat Mexico because I would rather have both teams lose. Is that a possibility? Is that a possibility? But no, it is. It was, again, hit the like button if you haven't already as well. But it's so stupid that they were so uninventive yesterday. Mexico has told me that they were like this such creative team. They're so good. If I got to hear another one about their superstars in Gilberto Mora, which, by the way, Mexico hasn't beaten a single soul in this tournament. Czechia sucked. Ecuador sucked. The first South Africa sucked, and they got a lucky goal against Korea. If the goalkeeper just catches it cleanly, they draw most likely, or they might lose. And then they play against a big boy, and they suck. They didn't do anything. They give up 2 goals in 2 minutes. They give up a PK after going up a man. And then there for 40 minutes, their game plan was just, you know what it looked like yesterday? It looked like Arsene Wenger's Arsenal like the last 5 years when they go open. It's just pass around the 18, pass around the 18, pass around the 18. Let's serve the ball in. Guys, you played right into the strengths of England. You played right into the strengths of them, and you couldn't do anything. And you were at home in a World Cup, a chance to go to the quarterfinals for the first time ever since 1986, and you couldn't get it done. And you still continue to have this curse of the fifth game because you have not broken this curse yet, simply because of the fact that you did not qualify for this tournament, so you lost in the fifth game yet again. And England outplayed you yet again, and Mexico can't do a damn thing in the World Cup. And it's just great to see. And CONCACAF, if we're being honest, again, getting to a whole CONCACAF situation, no one has beaten anyone yet. The only team that is left that can beat a team is the U.S., and we'll get into that right after this. So don't go anywhere. Episode 314 will continue right after the break. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't already. We'll get into the U.S. men's national team conversation right after this about Flo Balogun. Should he be playing or not? I don't know. But anyway, don't go anywhere. Episode 314 will continue.
Welcome to the National Soccer Network, your home for soccer. One destination, every match, every moment. Built for players, powered by passion. Live games, highlights, and more each and every day. Only on the National Soccer Network.
The biggest stage in world soccer is here, and every goal changes everything. And now, FanDuel is giving you a reason to root for every single one. Introducing Every Goal Pays. Bet on a match and get bonus bets for every goal scored in that match. More goals means more bonus bets, and all you have to do is turn on your token. Are the U.S. going to go on a deep run, reach a semifinal, or even a final in a dream world? From the opening whistle to the final kick, let there be goals on FanDuel. Visit FanDuel.com to get started now. 21 and over, select states. For Kansas, in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino. 18 and over in D.C., Kentucky, and Wyoming. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or 1-800-MY-RESET. In Connecticut, call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat. In Maryland, visit mdgamblinghelp.org. In Massachusetts, visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 1-800-327-5050. In New York, call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. In Louisiana, call 1-877-770-7867.
So the dream behind Irene's was simply to be a place where the community could come and gather. This is my hometown, we're raising our family here, and we just want to be a space where people can come together as a community and share a great meal. We've got golf simulators, we got pinball, live music, trivia nights, but we also have fresh, always homemade, locally sourced food, and we serve it with a sense of Gemütlichkeit. This is a German word that conveys a sense of warmth and coziness and belonging. We're excited to show off how we're growing and that this is the place to be.
All right, welcome back. Episode 314, 15, whatever the rest of the pie is. I don't know. Anyway, USA men's national team, it's their match day. We're going to get fully into it, but first we have to talk about the biggest storyline probably ever in a World Cup for the U.S. men's national team, and that is simply the fact that Flo Balogun is going to play today or can play today. Again, I don't know how much he is able to play or if he's going to get... if he's going to play or not. I don't know if he's going to get benched. We'll have to talk about that too. Would you start Flo Balogun at this point? Because I don't know if I would start Flo Balogun at this point just because of the preparation that they've been happening. But yeah, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit the like if you haven't already. Let's try to get 5 likes on the video here today, the stream today. And then obviously get your comments, get your thoughts in there as well. Dave has already done that. Obviously, we'll get to our membership later on today. But anyway, Flo Balogun is back. I was shocked by this. I really was, and I don't expect him to start today. I really don't expect Flo Balogun to start simply because of the preparation at this point. Again, I think he's going to play at some point. I think he's going to play. I don't expect him to start though, simply because of the fact that because they played when did they play last week? Thursday? They played last Wednesday or Thursday? Oh, Wednesday. They played last Wednesday. So you're telling me, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So for 3 days, you were preparing for a guy without Flo Balogun. You're preparing a game without Flo. And all of a sudden he's back in. Do you play him? I would not start Flo Balogun. I would not. I would start probably Ricardo Pepi because your preparation has been solely on the fact that you're preparing without Flo Balogun. Where is his mentality at for this game? Is he even ready to play for it? Because he's been probably just waiting. He's like, I'm just going to train, not going to be a part of the team. Hey, I think Flo Balogun's a great player. I think he's our best attacker. I think he's probably the most important player on this team. But I wouldn't start him today. Let's wait until halftime. Let's see exactly where we go. Don't go with the flow, says James. I agree with that. But I wouldn't start him. I would wait till the end of the first half, see where we're at, see where he is mentally. Maybe he has to sit and watch for 45 minutes before he actually gets into stuff. Where he's like, I have to actually wait until things are getting things going. Because I don't know where his mentality is at with this game. I don't know, which, by the way, we will be doing a watch party for this game. So if you guys want to watch along with me later on tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern time, you guys can go ahead. Also for the Spain-Portugal at 3 o'clock. But I'm sitting there, and I'm like, I don't know if he's going to be ready for this game. I think he's probably just going to sit there and not be ready. And that's not a fault at him. It's a fault at how this whole process has taken place. And we can still argue if it's a red card or it's not. I still think it's a red card. The dude's ankle made an L. His ankle was literally like this. I mean, you endanger the opponent. Yesterday was also that should have been a red card as well. Yesterday with Kwanzaa, and that endangered the opponent. But when it comes to this, I don't think I would start Flo. I don't think I would, and I think that's I think it's a good decision from Mauricio Pochettino is to not start him, because I would go out there with a Ricardo Pepi. Again, how is Belgium preparing at this point? I don't know. Maybe they're scrambling to make some last-minute preparations, and then maybe you put the little cat and mouse game where they're now preparing for Flo Balogun. You throw out a Ricardo Pepi, and then they're like, I don't know what to do. And then at halftime, you throw Flo Balogun back out there because I think he is your best attacker. You can't not play Flo Balogun at some point in this game, but I would not start Flo Balogun. There's a difference there. I would let him sit a half, take off Ricardo Pepi. Flo has 45 minutes rested, depending on where the game is at, and you hope that it is manageable. You're winning, or it's tied at that point, because Belgium is a team where, again, maybe you do start. This is an interesting, sticky situation, but because then maybe you think about with Belgium, they started off slow recently. Maybe you want Flo Balogun to punch him in the mouth early. He takes his chances, whatever it is. But then I think about the overall process. The overall process of this whole thing. I think it's very sketchy, because if this was always going to be the case, if this was always going to be the case, then you should have nipped us in the butt immediately. Like Thursday afternoon, it should have been said Flo Balogun is going to play. It should have been nipped in the butt then. However, we waited until July 5th. We waited 4 days after the fact, and it's like, okay, Flo Balogun's going to play. If it was such a bad process, if it was such a ludicrous call that needed to be overturned, then it should have been nipped in the butt Thursday afternoon. Flo Balogun should have been playing by Thursday. Should have been noted that he was playing on Thursday. However, FIFA, USA Soccer Federation, the White House, whatever it was, we waited until July 5th. He is now playing, and I think it sets a bad precedent for the rest of soccer. I think it's a bad precedent for the world, because this guy who had a red card, I think it's still a red card. It should have been a red card. However, people just want to sit there and complain that it wasn't. It is clearly a red card. And now everyone is like, well, what the heck? I get it. The same thing happened to Cristiano Ronaldo. I get it. But no, this should not happen. It should not have been nipped like that. It should not have happened like this, the process. And again, the other process that still is sketchy to me is the whole White House getting involved. I don't like governments of the countries to get involved in a decision like this. They said that they called and they were like, "Yo, you gotta reverse this thing. You gotta Uno reverse card this thing." I don't like that. I think that FIFA should have just handled it themselves. I don't like the fact that they had to come out and the White House had to call and say, "Hey, let's rethink your decision here." I don't like that, if I'm being completely honest. I think that should have been, I don't think that should have been the decision. I think that FIFA should have handled this internally instead of having some sort of outside influence, and they found some loophole about it. And I get it. Again, I understand they did it with Cristiano Ronaldo before the World Cup. I get it. They reduced his 3-game suspension right in time for the World Cup for his thing. Don't believe that should have happened either. I don't think FIFA should have been influenced for that as well. But they've been influenced twice now. Again, FIFA's got a history of being corrupt. You just go throughout history of FIFA, they have a history of being corrupt. But I don't think Ronaldo should have had this. I don't think Flo Balogun should have had it. Flo Balogun should not be playing in this game. However, as a USA fan, I could care less about it because my guy Flo Balogun is playing. And for any nation that's out there that was like, "Well, I wouldn't want my team to have this," you're lying to yourself. If this was England and Harry Kane all of a sudden did the same exact challenge and they come out and they're like, "Yeah, Harry Kane's gonna be back," you would love it. So again, you are lying to yourself if it's Brazil, and I mean Brazil's knocked out, and all of a sudden you got to see a guy like Matheus Cunha, he's out. Oh, all of a sudden he's back in. Messi, Ronaldo, Mbappe, Olise, Doué, it's the same thing. If those players were suspended, all of a sudden they come back. You guys would absolutely love it. It's Quinones for Mexico, Alphonso Davies for Canada if he ever played, but he didn't. Like, you would want it. But all I'm saying is I think FIFA should have handled it the way that they should have handled it and not allow any outside influence. I don't think that should have happened. However, is what it is. USA is going to get the benefit of the doubt. And I know Alexi Lala said this yesterday. It's USA versus the world now because everyone's hating on it. I don't necessarily think it's USA versus the world. I think if anything, it's probably like FIFA against the world or like the officials of the US. It's not. Don't blame the player. Don't blame Pochettino. Don't blame whatever it is. They had no say in this. They had an outside influence that influenced them to make this decision. We got a host nation bias. That's all we got in this situation. We got a host nation bias. We got the benefit of the doubt simply knowing the fact that they're like, okay, we kind of need one of these host nations to show up. Canada got absolutely killed. Mexico, they lost. We need a host nation to win. We need a host nation to get to a quarterfinal because you look at Russia, they had a team go far. 2014, Brazil went far. 2016 went far. Like, all these teams went far. So they're like, okay, we need a host nation to go far. We need the U.S. to get to the quarterfinals. How do we help this? We put their best attacker back out on the field. And all I'll say is the fact that, again, my team benefited from it. I'm okay with it. But I think this just sets a bad precedent for the rest of the world. Like, what is stopping? Let's just throw a hypothetical out there. What is stopping England right now? What is stopping England from now going to FIFA and saying Kwanzaa shouldn't have been sent off? Kwanzaa should be playing in the quarterfinal match. Who against Norway? Yeah, that's exactly. I drew a blank there on who they were playing. What is stopping England now from saying Kwanzaa is not a red card? This should be overturned. There's nothing stopping it from happening. They've said there's no appeal process, but apparently there's some sort of appeal process. But if you're England, they're like, well, if they got it overturned, we should get it overturned. And then for maybe they'll say it was a delay and everything and what they had to endure in terms of the conditions, the altitude, yada, yada, yada. I don't know. And England's like, we need our best outside back playing in this tournament. We need them playing against Norway. There's nothing stopping them from doing that. And this is just a disgrace. I don't want to say it's a disgrace, but it kind of, it is a disgrace to the game. I'll just tell you how it is. It is a bit of a disgrace to this game. James even shaking his head over there. It's a disgrace to the game simply because of the fact, if you're a red card, you're suspended the next match. Now, I don't think he should have been suspended by any more games than just the one that he's going to play against here today. But it's a bit of a disgrace to the game because the law of the game is said that it's a red card. It should be a red card. And now all of a sudden it's not a red card and the guy can play. What does that set for the rest of the teams in this tournament and for the rest of time? Like, there is now nothing stopping. Imagine going into the 2028 Euros, and let's just say a player like a Harry Kane or whatever has a similar red card, and they're just like, all right, let's not give him, let's suspend him, or let's revoke his red card going into the Euros. There's nothing stopping it anymore. And I'm just using that as an example. We've got Michael Williams in the chat. Welcome on in, Michael. Again, get your thoughts in the NSN chat if you haven't already. Obviously, we'll continue probably USA-Belgium for a while here. Ref pulled red card first. Slow motion view is a yellow card first with the potential for a red. Look, I still think this is a red card, guys. I'm not going to go down on the pedestal that I have for myself here. I think it's still a red card. Endangered the opponent. You can maybe throw in common sense. If I'm being completely honest, I think it's an orange card, even though we don't have orange cards. I think it's in the middle of a red card and a yellow card. If you throw in the common sense part, yes, I think you could say it's a yellow. But the way the endanger of the opponent, it goes studs up straight in the back. And please don't give me the Messi example. Please don't do that. It's not a Messi example. Those are two different scenarios. One was at the back of the leg. One almost broke the dude's ankle. Let's not get into those weeds there. But again, USA is now going to get the benefit of the doubt here. And I think this obviously is going to be a massive help for the USA going forward in this match. But then I also want to get into the
I don't know. Do you think it's going to be a benefit now? Because think about it. Like you said, now it's going to be USA versus everybody. I mean, everybody's going to be gunning for us.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing then. I would much rather have USA versus the world than anything else because, I mean, these guys, this generation of USA players has gotten so much stick, so much hate the last 365 days. If you rewind back to last year with the Gold Cup, myself included, They have faced just about every adversity in the book. I think they're fine. They're at home too. It's not like they're playing. Again, if they were playing, I think overseas, like if they were playing in a foreign country in a World Cup. However, they're at home. They have the home crowd behind them. I don't think it's going to affect them too much. I think the home crowd, obviously, I mean, you could see all the videos and all the videos and stuff. Like they're all behind it. Let's get into some quotes here. This is from Rudy Garcia, the head coach of Belgium. He says, "I didn't know that at the World Cup as at FIFA, the 5th of July is actually the 1st of April. It's April Fools. We're not defending the national team or the federation. We are defending football and integrity." Yeah, I would say Oh, did they just make a new statement? Okay, it does look like Belgium has made a new statement on this. Okay. All right, we'll have to get into the new statement here with Belgium, but they did make a new statement on this. But yeah, no, I would say it's protecting the integrity of the game. And if it's a red card, it's a red card. There's no appeal process. This isn't college football. This isn't the NFL where you can appeal targeting or anything like that. Guys, it is a red card that was given. It could have been given as a yellow, could have been given as a red card. That's all it is. But now the fact is I don't know what this sets for the rest of the world. I don't know what this sets for the rest of, like, what is stopping a player or what is stopping a team in the league like a Man City or something? And it's like, I don't think Erling Haaland should have been sent off. We're playing against Man United, Arsenal, Liverpool in the week. We want Erling Haaland back out there. And if we want to talk about influence, Man City's probably got the most influence out of any team in the world. Maybe Barcelona, Real Madrid probably battle that, but Man City's up there in terms of the poll. But this sets a bad precedent and a bad example for the rest of the world. So I'm curious to see how this is managed. I'm curious to see what the game now looks like because this definitely creates a sidebar for sure in the matchup, but as most American fans are probably like, I could care less about this whole situation. Now, this is yesterday coming about from the Belgian Football Federation. They said, regarding this decision on Balogun, in order to safeguard the legitimate rights of all participating teams to protect the fundamental principles of fair play in our sport, both at the FIFA World Cup and at future editions of the tournament, the RBFA is investigating all potential options. They are also lawyering up. Yeah, lawyering up.
You did it. Congrats.
Lawyering up. Man, I can't speak. They are lawyering. They are going to lawyering. We're gonna say that. We're gonna say they're going to lawyer up. That's all we're gonna say. We're just gonna say they're going to lawyer up. They're going to lawyer up on the USA. That's apparently what has been reported as of last night. Is they're going to have some lawyers go at the US. I don't know. And if I was the Belgian Football Federation, I'd be pissed too. Like, what are you telling me? For 3 days, I got to prepare for the USA without their best attacker, their best striker, their best goal scorer. But then all of a sudden, it's like a day before the game, it's like, all right, he's back out there. I'd be pissed too. I would be pissed. And if this happened against the USA, you bet your ass any American fan would be pissed. So any American fan that is happy, do not kid yourself and sit there and be like, well, if this was against the US, I would have the same reaction. That is not how this works, guys. You guys would have the same reaction. You guys would be pissed off about the fact that this is a red card, or that it was a red card and now he's back. So again, if this was Kevin De Bruyne or a Jeremy Doku, yes, this is absolutely, you guys would be pissed off. So I'm curious to see how all of this is going to play out. I'm curious to see if Balogun starts. Again, get your thoughts if you think Balogun should start in this match or not. Again, you can get into thoughts about the whole match as well. It doesn't have to be the Flo Balogun aspect of it, but get your thoughts in there. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts heading on into today's game. But no, I think you don't start Flo Balogun tonight. I think you bring him on in the 45th minute, because where is he at here? Because you can't afford, if he just has that lack of concentration, you can't afford to have a giveaway in the box and then starts a counterattack going the other way. You can't afford missed chances at this stage of the World Cup. You've got to make every chance count. And if we go back to 2014 and Chris Wondolowski, he had a great chance inside the 6 and he put it over the bar. So again, and we'll get into the starting lineups on that as well. The former 2014 starting lineup in the next topic of the show here once we head to the break. But guys, what do you think the USA and Mauricio Pochettino should do? Should they start Balogun in this match? Should they let him play at the start of the second half, or should he just start and he just goes about business? I'm curious to see what you guys have to say. Again, any super chat will be read if you guys want to skip the line on that and head into the super chat. You guys can do that as well. But all right, we're going to talk about more in depth on the USA versus Belgium and their matchup here later on tonight. We'll also get into the rigged for Ronaldo debate as well. As my dad says, Mexico. Dad, I don't think you wanted Mexico to win either yesterday. And then we'll get into the streets won't forget Cape Verde. So don't go anywhere. USA Belgium will continue right after this.
Great game footage starts with Veo. Now a pass deep and up front. With NSN, we can transfer your Veo footage into a professional broadcast. Elevate your Veo experience today. Call 248-525-2083.
Opportunity and a shot and a goal!
The National Soccer Network, your home for soccer.
All right, welcome back here. Episode 314 continues here on the National Soccer Network. My name is Ryan Glinsky, producer James Schofield in the building here today. His voice is rather shot from the weekend. So
it's so bad, everybody.
Yeah, we won't get to James as often today. But anyway, USA versus Belgium today. Revenge for 2014. And I think this is going to be a very good matchup. And I genuinely think since 2002, this has to be the most favorable matchup the USA has ever been in. Because if we look, again, we'll see if the betting odds have changed. If we check out FanDuel here. The betting odds last night were, I think, both minus 110 for the USA and Belgium. However, since then, since whenever I checked it, I think right around midnight, the odds have shifted. And it does look like it is going to stay the way it is. So since last night, when I checked post England-Mexico game, USA is at a -124. Belgium is at a +102. So the USA is a betting favorite in the round of 16. I don't think I would have ever dreamt that the USA is a betting favorite in the round of 16 of a World Cup game. So what does that tell us? It doesn't tell us everything, but Vegas knows something. That's all it tells us. And Vegas, for the most part, is typically right. But you look at this matchup, and I feel like the way that Belgium has played so far in this World Cup and the way that the USA has played in the World Cup, and I know I have said that the USA has not played anyone. Look at Bosnia, they were ranked 61st. You look at Turkey, they were 27th. Australia's at 28. And then who's the other, which they lost to Egypt. Paraguay was up there relatively in the 30s. So we haven't beaten anyone at all in this tournament. Now we have an opportunity to knock out one of the big boys and an opportunity to knock out a top 10 nation and beat an European side that, and outside of Bosnia, we haven't beaten in like the last 5 or 6 years. We haven't beaten a European side like that. So now we have an opportunity to get Belgium, I think, at its worst. Belgium, this is probably the worst Belgium team that I have ever seen in my life. And again, 2014 is when they started to kind of take shape with Kompany, Hazard, Fellaini, Courtois, De Bruyne, Lukaku, all those guys. 2018, they kind of hit their peak. 2022, they get grouped, and they've been kind of bad ever since 2018. But this year, they're back into the round of 16, but they have played horrible in all of their games. Like, Belgium has not impressed me at all in this World Cup. And you go back to the first game where they played against Egypt, where they were kind of horrible from the beginning. And all of a sudden, they get the goal right as Romelu Lukaku comes on. Like, Romelu Lukaku taps it in, puts it in the back of the net on his first touch in like the 60-some odd minute or whatever it was. But you think about it now, they also struggled against, what is it, Iran? Yeah, Iran, where they were, I think, down a man in that game as well. They had a red card, so hopefully we can maybe get Belgium in another red card situation. But they played horrible then too. And then you think about, well, what has Belgium done against New Zealand? They were fine then. But then you look at Senegal. In reality, they should have won the match. They were up 2-0 going into like the 85th minute, which if you look at the African nations, they were either tied or winning in like the 85th minute of, I think, like 90% of all their matches, and they lost all of them, which is crazy to think about. But you think about the Senegal match, and that's kind of where I was going at, where Senegal, which USA could do this, so this is one of my keys to victory. We'll go more in depth in the exclusive membership part. But if we can get the ball over the top in behind the Belgian players, the Belgian backline, I think we've got a legitimate shot of creating some very serious opportunities. I really do, and that's where a guy like a Flo Balogun can run in behind, a guy like a Serginho Dest, a Christian Pulisic needs to make his magic. More on Christian Pulisic in a moment because he needs to step up here. But I think if we can catch Belgium out a little bit, it seems like since they've gotten rid of a Vincent Kompany, a Toby Alderweireld, a Jan Vertonghen, and Thomas Vermaelen, since they got rid of those defenders, it feels like they've been lacking concentration and communication in the back line. It really feels like they have done that. And that is where I think the USA can exploit them a little bit, and especially on the counterattacks. Hello to you too, Frank. And I think that is where the USA can exploit potentially Belgium. Counterattack, quick balls over the top. Again, this is going to be, for all the casual American fans is out there, all I'll say is this is not going to be the last games. This is not going to be like the last couple of games. We have dominated play. We have dictated play. We've had the possession. We have put the teams on their back foot. You look at, besides probably Turkey, just simply because of the way the players that we had out there. But you look at the Paraguay game, you look at the Australia game, you look at the Bosnia game. We were the better team on the day, and rightfully so. We put the pressure on them. Now, this is not going to happen tonight, guys. We may be sitting back for extended periods of time tonight. We might be sitting back for an extended period. Kevin De Bruyne, Romelu Lukaku when he plays, Jeremy Doku, Leandro Trossard, all those guys. Let's also not forget, guys, in March, Belgium beat us 5-2. So let's also put that in the back of our mind, too. This is not going to be the same thing. Apple pie or chocolate, what the heck is that all about?
It's me being clever, bro. Like, what are the two desserts that we're famous for? USA is apple pie, right?
Oh.
Belgian chocolate.
Gotcha. Okay, I was confused.
I'm being
there.
a father over here. I'm being the dad.
Gotcha. Frank says UEFA, their statement is interesting on the red card. It's all quite interesting, Frank. It's all. I'm not a big fan of it, if I'm being completely honest. Good for you guys, though. I'm not a fan of the process of how it happened. That's all I'll say. I'm happy with the way that I'm happy the fact that we have. I'm happy that we have Fuller and Balogun back. Don't get me wrong. I'm happy that he's playing. I'm happy that we have our guy, and I think any nation would be happy that their best attacker had a red card, and all of a sudden it comes back and he's playing. I'm not happy with the process in which the USA and this whole thing happened. That's the only thing I'm upset about, because it gives it a bad look. It shows definitely signs of corruption and people getting involved. I was not a big fan of. Yeah, they have 7 Premier League players. That's what I'm getting at, Frank, because I know we definitely have some casual Americans in the audience here today that probably think that USA is probably going to do what they've been doing the last couple of games. But this is a different beast in Belgium. And I think that this is probably, out of all the round of 16 opponents that we could have faced, maybe Switzerland and Colombia, maybe, but this is probably the best of the bunch. We skip in England, we skip a France, we skip in Argentina, Spain, Portugal. We get to skip all of those. Ola to you too, Layla. Like we get to skip all of those. And that's not to say Belgium's a bad side, but in compared to the teams that we could have played, I'm happy with who we have to play here today. Like, we could have played the Netherlands, we could have played Morocco. I'd much rather play Belgium compared to the other ones, simply because of the way Belgium has played at this World Cup. It seems like there's a little bit of disconnect. It doesn't seem like they're necessarily awake. It feels like it doesn't feel like they show up in the first half, and it really doesn't. And that is where I think the USA could pounce on Belgium. If you look at the last couple of games, they have all scored first half goals. The USA, that is. We've scored first half goals, and besides the first 3, not the Bosnia game, the first 3 we scored a goal inside the first 10 minutes, whether that was an own goal or we created it ourselves. But that is where something I need to see the USA exploit. Jonathan Watson in the chat, welcome on in. Jonathan, FIFA could have saved themselves and the USA much stress if they just made the right call to begin with. Should have been a yellow. I think it's an orange card, guys. I really do. It could go both ways. I think it's still a red card. I think it endangers the opponent of the Bosnian player. I mean, the dude's ankle almost broke in half. And I said that even on the stream, guys. Like, that is, I disagree from the back. It's always violent conduct. I've been saying that, Frank, but apparently everyone is disagreeing with me. Even the American pundits have been disagreeing. Guys, I think it is still a red card. I mean, whether it's intentional or not, it wasn't intentional, at least I don't think. But obviously I'm not inside the mind of Fuller and Balogun. But the dude's ankle was like this, guys. It was literally an L. And do not bring up this Messi, and don't bring up the Messi comparison either. It's 2 different stories. Messi went to the back. That probably should have been a yellow, and then this one, the ankle went as an L. So
yeah, and I'm there with you too. I mean, here's the thing: no matter what, if it was intentional or not, his actions clearly were going to, cause some sort of injury, possibly. I mean, it was too obvious looking at it that, I mean, his ankle was already rolling.
Yes,
and he stepped right on it. I mean, whether it was intentional or not, that's clear endangerment right there.
And that's why I say it's an orange card, because I think it is definitely endangerment of the opponent. It's violent conduct. However, the reason I say it's an orange card and it could have been a yellow is if you throw in the common sense part and say, well, was it intentional or not? If it's unintentional, I don't think so. But I still think the referee made the right decision and made it a red card. That's what I would say. I still think they made the right decision. Layla says it was a red card, period. I would agree there. At least I don't know any better. Unlucky or not, that has always been the main rule in football. You're always extra careful. Hey, Frank agrees with you, James. So James is happy for himself that you agreed with him, Frank. But no, that's just where I think it boils down to. Oh, I just fell. That's where I think it boils down to is guys, it is a red card. The only issue I have in all of this is the process in which it happened. We cannot sit there for 3-4 days and sit there and be like, okay, it's not a red card. If it is not a red card, it should have been nipped in the butt by Thursday afternoon. By Thursday afternoon, we should have been sitting to ourselves and saying, all right, Fuller and Balogun, it's overturned, should have been playing. I don't like the fact that it happened yesterday, and we have just over 24 hours in order for it to happen. I'm happy Fuller and Balogun is out there playing. It's our best attacker. I need him in a game like this. Probably the biggest U.S. men's national team game since God knows when. Probably since the 2014 match against Belgium. So, again, I'm happy, just not happy with the process in which it happened. Frank, it was a duel, but there's a difference between duels. It's from the side and from the back. Again, it is endangerment of the player. It is 100% a red card. I probably would say it's an orange card. A red card, I can go both ways with it. I would lean more towards a red card, but I could definitely see where it could be a yellow card if you apply the common sense part. Also, Fuller and Balogun's not a superstar, so even at the benefit of the doubt, you're not going to get that. Again, if that is a Harry Kane, maybe a Messi, Ronaldo, Mbappe, Olise, those types of guys, maybe those types of players, and Erling Haaland as well, gets that benefit of the doubt in terms of the gray area. Maybe they get that, but Fuller, and we've seen superstar whistles all across sports. Shout out Tom Brady, shout out SGA, shout out LeBron James. Fuller and Balogun's not a superstar, guys. He in the grand scheme of things, in the grand scheme of world football, Fuller and Balogun is not a superstar. He's a superstar in the eyes of Americans because he scores goals for the U.S., but he is not a global superstar. That's the clear thing. Jonathan, I feel like since Balogun immediately shifted his weight to his other foot, the fraction of a second he made contact and took the pressure off of the ankle, then it should have been a yellow. Jonathan, I think where that point goes, I think where that point doesn't have some weight is the fact of the way what the ankle looked. The ankle looked like a damn L, man. It went full 90.
I thought it was breaking.
It made full 90. You're right, James. That's an ankle-breaking tackle. Like, that's exactly what it is.
It was that close. Like, I can almost see it, like the rubber band just stretching.
And he breaks an ankle. So that is clearly what it is. Frank, I'm pretty sure they are appealing, so he might not be playing at all. Again, I've been keeping up on Twitter. I haven't seen anything on it yet. So I've been trying to keep refreshing Twitter in all of this. So I don't know exactly what is going to happen in this whole situation. But I've been keeping my eyes on Twitter throughout this. So that's what I've been keeping an eye out for. But again, the game itself, and I didn't even get to the main point of why I didn't even get to the main point of what I thought about this game. Because I mean,
land the plane, Ryan. Land the plane.
I love the thoughts, guys. Don't get me wrong. I love the thoughts. I love the comments. But I didn't even get to the main point about what I wanted to talk about in this whole thing. Layla thought it was broken too. Layla, I don't think you're wrong. Since there is a special committee for fast processes. Well, why didn't that happen on Thursday? Oh my God. This is making it worse and worse, guys. It's making it look worse and worse. And I guess it's USA versus the world, I guess. Even though they're at home. But I guess it's USA versus the world. Anyway, and I understand why every fan base is upset about this, guys. I get it. But I didn't even get to my main point here. Kevin De Bruyne is going to be the biggest point of emphasis on this game. And I guess Jeremy Doku as well. I need Tyler Adams, Weston McKennie, Malik Tillman to boss that midfield. Because if we're going to allow a guy like KDB, Kevin De Bruyne, time and space outside the 18, allow him to create chances left and right, then we are going to be cooked. Like, Tyler Adams and Malik Tillman, specifically, McKennie, a little bit of a different situation. But I look at McKennie and Tyler Adams as our two double pivots there. They have got to boss Kevin De Bruyne. They got to push him around. They've got to make life difficult because the moment KDB has all the time and space, he's not prime KDB, don't get me wrong, but he is still Kevin De Bruyne. This man is still a legend. This guy is still insane. Like, we cannot allow him to create chances for Jeremy Doku, Leandro Trossard, whether a Romelu Lukaku gets in the game or not, because those guys are going to take their chances. I've seen Leandro Trossard play for the last 3 years here, and he takes a chance as well. Jeremy Doku absolutely cooked against the USA back in March. And Jeremy Doku, that's another thing. We cannot put Jeremy Doku in isolated one-on-one situations. We cannot allow him to run at our defenders because, for being honest, this is probably the game where I don't want to see Tim Ream play, if I'm being honest. because he's so slow. I don't know how fast he is going to run, and I do not want to see Tim Ream go one-on-one with like a Jeremy Doku, because at that point, I'm just going to end the stream and walk out, because he's going to cook us. He's going to cook us if he gets on one-on-one opportunities with a Tim Ream. So I'm not a big fan of that. And then, so we can't have that. And then if I look at it, we've just got to be smart defensively. We've got to constantly communicate. And I'm intrigued to see how the U.S. looks. Again, I will get to the comments here, but I got to get my points in here before I get into the comments here. Appreciate Frank, Layla, and John for continuing to comment. Again, continue to hit the comments, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. But we've got to communicate everything defensively. We can't allow anything. We can't switch off, because, like I said, this is not going to be the Bosnia game, the Turkey game, the Paraguay, Australia game. We're going to have to defend for extended periods of time. And that is exactly what scares me, because we haven't done that yet. And my fear coming into the tournament was having a Tim Ream in the backline going up against a world-class attack. And we could say Doku, Tross. This is not world class to what Belgium used to be with Hazard, a young De Bruyne, a young Lukaku, Divock Origi, and all those guys. It's not that same level, but they're still class with Doku, Trossard, Lukaku, and Kevin De Bruyne. So we've got to communicate everything. That's what I'm truly worried about, is how our backline responds to all of this. All right. Now getting into your comments. I had to get into the main points there, guys, because I was getting down a rabbit hole with you guys. But again, appreciate all the comments. Appreciate all the time you guys taking out of your day to tune into our show here. Let's see here. That is the entire issue. It's not even lifted. It's suspended. LOL. Frank says this is gonna be a loaded game, though. I think it's gonna be a good game. If the 2014 roster can take that 2014 Belgium team to extra time, I think this team can definitely put up a good fight. We'll get into the starting 11s from that game. Jonathan, I know some people think he should not start because it might be better sportsmanship to sit him. Others say he should not play at all, even though he can. I said, and Jonathan, my point I said earlier in the show is I wouldn't start Flo Balogun because I don't know where he is here right now. I don't know if he's able to play mentally. I don't know if he's like mentally prepared to play in this game. Maybe a Ricardo Pepi is, and maybe he has to sit for 45 minutes to justify that. So I would say probably Balogun. Again, I think he's going to play. I don't think I would start Flo Balogun, not because of a sportsmanship thing. I just don't know where he is mentally, and obviously in a knockout World Cup game, you can't be lacking mentally. Jonathan also says, I say they used an actual rule to suspend his suspension that has been used before. Unleash the beast. He's got to be pretty pissed. Yeah, I don't know where Balogun is going to be pissed. I don't know where he gets that. I'm sure he probably is. He wasn't that upset in the World Cup match on when they played Wednesday. Gosh, it feels so long ago. I don't know when they played last.
There's so many going on.
Yeah, so many games, and I don't think he wasn't that upset about it. So I don't know if he's going to play extremely pissed off. Maybe Belgium's going to play extremely pissed off. I don't know. Frank, I would do that as well as a message to the football nations. Jonathan says, I keep hearing USA can appeal, but then I hear people say we can't appeal, so I don't know. I don't really understand why we have to wait so long to appeal, though. I don't think there's an appeal process at all, and as FIFA has said that itself. The reason why this whole thing shifted is because there's an Article 27 or something like that, which is a loophole inside FIFA where we can bring a guy like this back. I mean, you could think back at the Cristiano Ronaldo situation where he had a 3-game suspension leading into the World Cup, and that didn't happen. So, yeah, no, we can. I think that is the reason why. There's a loophole in the system for FIFA, I guess. I don't really know, but that is the loophole that they're exploiting. And I have been refreshing Twitter time and time again. I haven't seen anything yet come out from Belgium or the USA or anything like that. I have not seen that come out yet. I am curious to see if there is anything, but I don't think there's anything yet. I'll have to keep an eye out for it as the day goes on and as the show goes on. Let's see here. FYI, I just checked. They're discussing it right now with the committee. They both have 1 hour. Oh crap. We're gonna have to stay on here for an hour? just because they are deliberating it. Okay, gotcha. All right, appreciate it, Frank. Maybe we have to stay on for an hour just to see what could happen for this. I don't know. I generally don't know what's gonna happen here. Let's see if I can. I'm just gonna search up USA Belgium latest.
Yeah, we got Yahoo Sports reporting it. With
What'd they say?
The appeal. Belgium granted appeal after FIFA reversed USMNT. Uh-oh. That was weird.
Oh, okay.
I just had a weird connection. So, so the men's team, I'm reading through it.
Oh, I see something here. Belgium wins right to appeal FIFA's decision to lift the Balogun ban. Okay. This is getting crazy.
Though the submission deadline was aggressive, FIFA has not guaranteed a ruling will be made prior to Monday's game.
Okay. Gotcha. So we might have to stay a little bit longer here on the show today just to see what can happen.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, definitely going to have to do that. Okay. 8 a.m. it started. We'll appreciate all the news, Frank. Frank's like our insider here. He's the NSN insider, I guess. Personally, I want to give Pepe his shot, at least for the first half. I want to see some more shots on goal. Yeah, Jonathan, I said the same thing. I would rather see Pepe start the game, to be honest with you. I don't know where Balogun is at in his head mentally, and we can't allow opportunities to go missing. Layla, I think he will not be allowed to play at the end. They've received too much backlash. FIFA has received too much backlash, like in the history of FIFA, so I don't think this backlash on allowing Forlan Balogun to play is going to weigh too much on him because there's been way more backlash. But yeah, no, I mean, I'm happy personally that he's playing. I mean, I'm a USA fan, so I'd much rather see the guy play. But I'm just saying personally, I don't know what you do in this situation. I want to see Balogun play, but I don't think he's starting today. So I generally have no idea. I think the USA is still capable of beating Belgium without Forlan Balogun. So again, I mean, obviously it's going to shift a little bit. I'm also curious to see the betting odds that happen, which they have shifted in favor of the USA, the betting odds. Belgium, their argument will be what made the red cards more individual for suspension than others. The only thing, Frank and Layla and John that are in the chat here and whoever else, again, you can get your thoughts in there if you got any thoughts on the USA Balogun red card, whatever it is, or anything else. You guys can get your thoughts in there. But I think the only thing that's going to hurt Belgium in this appeal is there's been rumors and rumblings out there that say since they didn't use the proper VAR technique or protocols, whatever, because they use slow-mo on it or whatnot to identify the red card, that is the reason why this red card as a whole got appealed and reversed. So that is the only knock I think Belgium has on this, is simply because of that fact, where they used the slow-mo and they weren't supposed to use the slow-mo. So that is where I think Belgium may have a little bit of a hard argument for winning this debate. So that's definitely something we're gonna have to see, and we'll have to see later on in the show. Again, that's another thing I want to get into. Christian Pulisic, show up, my man. I need a guy like Christian Pulisic to show up today. New statement. Sent a letter to FIFA requesting a copy of the decision, an explanation of the process that had been followed, and setting out its position regarding the applicable regulations. All right, James, I'm going to need you to stay locked in on whatever's going on USA Belgium. So you're going to have to stay locked in.
I'm getting some. I'm going to have the live updates here.
Okay, James, I need you to stay locked in, my guy. Shout out our producer James Schofield here in the building. He's got to stay locked in. All right, we might have to stay a little bit longer on here today, but anyway, Christian Pulisic needs to show up in this game as well. He has yet to score in the tournament. I need a superstar. Look, I get it. This is not the World Cup final. I get it. It is not the same level as what Curry and Jack Hughes did. But so far in the last couple of years, Steph Curry has had his golden moment. Jack Hughes has had his golden moment. LeBron James has had his golden moment. I need Christian Pulisic to have his golden moment tonight. And I'm not saying this because we're going to go win a World Cup or something. I'm saying this simply because we have not made the quarterfinals since 2002. I was not born back in 2002 to see us get to a quarterfinals. If we want the world to take us seriously in the game of soccer, obviously the Balogun situation is definitely not going to help our cause, but if we want the world to respect us a little bit more, we need to go out and knock a top 10 nation out like Belgium. We can talk all we want. CONCACAF can talk all we want, how we're catching up to the world, this, and that. We've got players playing overseas. Well, when you bring the guys together, we got BTA'd by Belgium at home, and we got BTA'd by Portugal at home as well back in March. Again, it's different setups, different scenarios. I think we weren't set up properly in those games compared to where we are now, but we need to go out, beat a team like Belgium. Christian Pulisic obviously is one of those guys that can go out and set up and do that for us. But that's all I'm saying, guys, is Christian Pulisic needs to show up for the U.S. men's national team. He needs to create something. You were the savior, the leader of this quote-unquote golden generation, which I still don't like that term because look at Belgium. I mean, their golden generation is failing here right in front of our eyes. But Pulisic, I need you to show up. You put your balls on the line back in the last World Cup. Can you do the same here today? And that was just to get us to the group stage. Can this get us to the quarterfinals? I need a guy like Christian Pulisic to show up in this World Cup. Dave, who is a member, we'll have to get into the membership later on today. Sit him for 45 minutes, though if the USA are winning by halftime, keep him on the bench and win the game without him. The USA can be the bigger man. I like that, Dave. Again, I don't think they're going to start Balogun, if I'm being honest. I don't think they're going to start Fellerin Balogun at all, just because of everything leading up to it. Balogun can sit on the bench, and if we need him, Balogun could be more of a break glass in case of emergency type of a situation with Balogun. So, yeah, no, curious to see how this whole thing plays out. Again, make sure to hit the like button if you haven't already. I don't know how many likes we are at in this stream, but again, I was hoping for 5 likes. That's all I was hoping for in this whole thing. Sorry, also an NBA notification went on, which makes me think that the Pistons are doing something, but they're probably not doing anything. It's the Pistons. They're stupid. Hey, we're at 6 likes, by the way.
Yeah, we got 6 likes,
6 likes. So shout out to everyone that has liked the video. Can we get to 10, maybe? Can we get to 10 likes on the video? Again, appreciate every single one of you for tuning in. Drop your comments. If you want to skip the line on the comments, drop in a super chat. So, appreciate John, Frank, Layla, Dave, and I think Layla, Frank, Dave, and John. Appreciate all you guys for hopping in the chat. If you've got any thoughts on today's game or just the World Cup in general, make sure to drop it in. We're going to move on here probably to Ronaldo here and how I think it's rigged for him to win. Based on the Croatia game, but we are going to have USA updates pretty much this entire, it's almost like we're on call with the U.S. men's national team. Like, you know how, some people might be on call, like shout out all the DTE people here in Detroit that were probably on call this past weekend, with the whole power outages and everything. They might be off, but they're on call with all that. So again, we're still going to carry all the U.S. men's national team news. James is going to stay on top of things. I'm going to try to do my best to stay on top of things. But again, Cristiano Ronaldo, it's rigged following this, so don't go anywhere. Episode 314 will continue.
The biggest stage in world soccer is here, and every goal changes everything. FanDuel is giving you a reason to root for every single one. Introducing Every Goal Pays. Bet on a match and get bonus bets for every goal scored in that match. More goals means more bonus bets, and all you have to do is turn on your token. The US look like they are truly poised for a dream run at this point. From the opening whistle to the final kick, let there be goals on FanDuel. Visit FanDuel.com to get started now. 21 and over, select state. For Kansas, in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino. 18 and over in DC, Kentucky, and Wyoming. Gambling gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or 1-800-MY-RESET. In Connecticut, call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat. In Maryland, visit mdgamblinghelp.org. In Massachusetts, visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 1-800-327-5050. In New York, call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. In Louisiana, call 1-877-770-7867. And listen to Orange Slices, sponsored by FanDuel Predicts, wherever you get your podcasts.
All right, welcome back here to Inside the Game, episode 314. Obviously, the whole Balogun thing is still going on currently right now. The whole appeal process is still going. Again, get your thoughts in there. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribed if you haven't already. Jonathan says, how long do you have to wait to appeal a red card? I think it's about an hour or so. I don't know. Odiseo 6872 says total corruption. Again, I will say this, Odiseo, I'm happy Balogun could be playing in this game as a USA fan. But what I'm upset about is the process in which it happened. I'm not happy about the whole thing. I don't like the whole process in which this whole thing happened. He says starting with the FIFA Peace Prize. Hey man, that's up for you to decide. Anyway, I did read this during the break. This is what one FIFA guy says or whatever, some soccer journalist, whatever, says. This is coming from his name's Mark or whatever it is. He says Balogun was a critical element that the rulebook persists. Arguing Balogun deserved a red card are conveniently overlooked. Balogun was the one who was challenged from behind. Honestly, James, could you throw up a still photo of the Balogun Bosnia thing? Because I feel like we should probably throw up a still photo of the Balogun challenge. Just throw it up there, see what we can what we can see. Odiseo says, such a shame for the USA team. They were doing well. Well, they're still doing well. They are still doing well. They're in the round of 16. They won a knockout game for the first time. So anyway, he says the Bosnian player played through Balogun from behind and placed himself in the path of Balogun's natural step. When he began taking the step, Balogun has no idea the Bosnian player would even be in front of that. In that sense, you can't really even consider his move a challenge. It was simply a step that incidentally landed in the same place the opponent's foot did. In fact, the reason Balogun's step came down so hard is because the Bosnian player challenged into him and knocked him off balance. This is not reckless or excessive force by any stretch of the imagination. The red card was obviously unjustified from the outset. The only thing FIFA got wrong here is not immediately suspending the red card after the match. Again, that's what I've been upset about. I've said that time and time again. Upset about that whole thing. But again, I will say this. You have the photo? Yeah, show that photo up. So that is where everything gets. That's where everyone gets pissed off. Is that right there? To me, right there, the still photo that I'm seeing right there, that is a red card to me right there, because he breaks the ankle. Now, this is where I think you can go both ways. Is the fact of the incidental contact. Now, I don't know if we can show the whole video up because of the whole, copyright thing, and we don't want this, not get demonetized or whatever, so we won't throw that part up. But to me, right there, that still photo shows a clear red card. Just on the still photo. And whether they use the correct protocols, whether they went to slow-mo or not, that's up for you to decide. Or up for FIFA to decide. And, yeah, there's our guy, James, right there showing it up. Appreciate it. But is that a red card? Is it not a red card? I think it's still a red card, guys. I still do, but I can see where the whole common sense aspect can come in. I mean, you endanger the opponent for sure. And this is where he says, Jonathan says, I do feel bad that Belgium probably was practicing with the idea that Balogun was going to miss the game, probably have to change their plans in only one day. Well, you could say the same thing for the U.S. men's national team as well, Jonathan. Maybe they knew in the back of their minds Balogun was going to play. Maybe they knew that. That's up for, we can only guess and assume from this side of the aisle based on what they were preparing for or not. I do think that Belgium obviously was not preparing for it. I think that's why they're so upset, because that changes up the entire game plan for the U.S. men, or for Belgium against the USA, where they may have to just tweak a couple things here and there. And I still think Balogun doesn't start. I still think Balogun probably comes on the bench in the second half. But again, I do think that this is still a red card. We're going to have to see whether or not this becomes appeal or not. So I generally have no idea. Again, get your thoughts in there about this. Again, you can skip the line by throwing in a super chat if you want. Like the stream again, can we get to 10? I already asked for 5. I'm gonna be a little bit greedy because we already hit over 5 past an hour. So again, could we get to that? Frank, no, it's not about the game plan, Ryan. It's about tradition. Tradition. I get why they're upset. Oh God, and they don't tonight. Oh God, one of the local Michigan sports personalities says he's got to cost a lot. Oh God, that's not good. He's got to cost a lot. That's not a good thing. Okay. They don't care if he plays or not. The point is that this never happened. Look, all I'll say is this. Not happy with the process in which it happened. I can see why this is being overturned in terms of the fact that it's incidental contact, whatever it is. Okay. Belgium has released a new statement here. Okay. After learning through media reports of FIFA's decision to lift the automatic suspension of player Balogun, the RBFA sent a letter to FIFA requesting a copy of the decision, an explanation of the process that had been followed, and setting out position regarding the applicable regulations. That's what Frank sent in the chat earlier. As its only response, FIFA has sent a letter to RBFA stating that it considered this correspondence to constitute an appeal, that a judge has been appointed, and that the RBFA has had only a few hours to complete that appeal. No information whatsoever was provided by FIFA. All of this occurred while FIFA simultaneously refused to respond to RBFA's legitimate request. Furthermore, during the match coordination meeting, FIFA deliberately removed the section concerning the automatic suspension of players from its presentation. This topic had nonetheless been a part of all such meetings. Before each of the previous 4 matches, the RBFA questioned FIFA both orally and in writing about the reasons for this change, yet once again received no response. To be clear, Jesus, this is taking up forever. To be clear, as of this moment, the RBFA has still not received any decision or any explanation from FIFA regarding this matter. It therefore has no alternative but to challenge the player's eligibility for this upcoming match. Regardless of the sporting outcome of this match, the RBFA is deeply saddened by the course of events and will continue to fight in the coming hours, days, and months in defense of the fundamental principles of ethics, fair competition, and interests of football as a whole. You know what is really funny about this, James? Is that we are probably like the only sporting outlet in America that is probably reporting on this right now. Like outside of like, if you are outside of maybe like Fox, simply because of the fact that like they have all the World Cup stuff, and maybe ESPN FC. But like if you go probably anywhere in America on 10:15 a.m. anywhere, they're probably not reporting on any of this. Like that is probably what this is, because no one else I think cares about the game of soccer that much compared to us. Anyway, in 16th, Layla says it's about future games. In 19, I said that earlier today, Layla. I do agree, because technically, what is stopping England from saying Kwanzaa shouldn't have been sent off, and they need him for the game against Norway? So again, that's what I said earlier. In 1962 is the last time it happened. You have to educate me on that one, Frank. Do you think Haji Wright will play? Or will get a start and play any significant minutes, says Jonathan. Depends if Balogun's playing or not. If Balogun is not playing, I could see it. If not, I don't see him playing at all, unless they need to see him in the last 5 minutes or so to see out a game. Frank, I covered a ton of court cases when I did true crime. I love this stuff. No, it's definitely an interesting situation, because the last time we covered like a court case on this show was the whole AFCON debacle. That was the last time we covered it, because, you know, all the crazy stuff that happened. And then like 3 months later, it gets overturned for Morocco because of everything. So again, I thought that was a whole debacle. This one, though, it's interesting. And you can tell why Belgium's upset, because, again, if FIFA just came out and said Thursday afternoon, all right, we're reversing it, was the wrong call, we are bad, Balogun can play, then I think everyone would have been fine. But now that we have moved to July 5th, again, my time was probably like noon, probably, where and they told Belgium this isn't going to happen at all. It's not going to happen. It's like we're done. And I think how this is all. I think again, I'm just assuming here. Do not think this is a for certain, but I think this is how it happened. I think. Again, I'm using my big brain here, and I'm critically thinking here. I think personally. They are okay. I guess. Damn, I thought we'd be the only one. Odiseo says the controversy is now.
It's okay. We did it
on,
first
on CNN, ABC, ESPN, DW, etc. It's all. Damn. He just took the wind all out of my sails.
Listen.
Damn,
Ryan, we can still say we were covering it first. Let's just say that.
All right, he just took all the wind out of my sails. Damn, man. All right, I guess we could be first. So here's what I think happened, and here's what I think happened. The USA knew in their head. Not hide. Jeez, I'm stupid. In their head, I think the USA knew in the back of their mind, and maybe Pochettino knew about it, and maybe the Federation knew about it, that in the back of their mind, Balogun was going to play. I think they may have known. So, dude, I'm so excited for this live stream later tonight, which you can catch the Portugal-Spain one later on today, too. That's why I'm excited. I'm getting so excited for this game, man. But I think in the back of their head, they knew Fuller and Balogun was going to play. But, Belgium didn't know any of this was going to happen. So FIFA hid it from Belgium, they hid it from the world, and then all of a sudden they said a day before the game, probably just over 24 hours, 32 hours, whatever it was, that, okay, Balogun's going to play. So I think that's where everyone's going to get upset, is because the whole process. But I'm kind of deep diving into some conspiracy, some controversy right here, some conspiracy theory. But I that's my conspiracy theory for the day. That's my conspiracy theory, is the fact that, that USA knew that Balogun was going to play. They probably knew the next day that this guy was going to play. And then they hid it from Belgium. That's why you can mention in the statement that they talked about it. Belgium mentions in the statement that this was not mentioned, that it was hidden from the whole automatic, he's able to come back. But I think they knew about this all along. I just don't think Belgium and the world knew about it. I think the USA knew about this all along. Let's see here. Frank, it wasn't technically a red card in the modern sense because physical red, yellow cards were only introduced at the 1970 World Cup, but he was sent off and the ban was lifted. That's regarding 1962. To save the USA team's reputation, Odiseo says Balogun should refuse to play. I don't know anyone. I mean, if that's the case, then Ronaldo should have refused to play. That's what I would say. I don't think. I think if that's the case, Ronaldo should have refused to play his 3 games then, because obviously his was uplifted right before the tournament. So that's maybe you have them disregard. Let's see here. So this is the first of the modern. Jonathan, do you think Pulisic is healthy? He seems to be passing more than trying to score, even though he's had chances. Jonathan, I think Pulisic is healthy. I think that against Bosnia, they boxed him in a little bit too much. I think he was boxed in a little bit too much. I think they had a point of emphasis to limit Christian Pulisic going forward. I think that was the case. The Bosnia game was always going to be ugly. It was always going to be an ugly, mudded up type of game, defensive battle. It was always going to be that. So the goals that we scored were the scrappy kind, and we forced turnovers from Bosnia. By the way, I don't know what the Bosnian goalkeeper was doing on the Malik Tillman free kick. That should have been a save. But if you look at the goals we scored, it's a turnover from the goalkeeper. Balogun's in, scores. Even the one that he's called offside was off a turnover. And then, obviously, the free kick should have been done better anyway. So I think today you're going to find, again, this game is going to be different from the rest. I think you're going to finally see, it's going to be opened up for the U.S. I think Pulisic's going to get in behind, Balogun's going to get in behind, because Belgium is not going to be a team that's going to sit back against us. For the first time this tournament, they're not going to sit back. A team is not going to sit back against us. Let's see here. Odiseo says, congrats, guys. You've got a great attitude, real positive. Well, thank you, man. We appreciate it. James, give us a horn for ourselves, because we got a great positive attitude. Well, we appreciate you guys in the chat as well, ever since he came back from injury. Christopher Hinton, welcome in. He says, United States, the only team left. Home nations. I'm just saying. I am just saying. I predicted that. I'm just saying. Canada's trash. Mexico, biggest failure in Federation history. At home, up a man for 40 minutes. Gifted a PK. Altitude. By the way, if I took a shot for every time I heard altitude, I probably would have been drunk last night. How many times that was mentioned? Let's see here. Frank, every World Cup tied to the Americas comes with shadows, home pressure, lifted bans, illegal goals, dictatorships, and FIFA suddenly flexible. Interesting. Jonathan, do you think Lumen Field 12th man with 80K plus fans will be a factor? Will there be an earthquake again? Well, based on last game, yes. And based on, again, I don't know how much Belgium is going to take, how many of their fans are going to show up. Oh, well, people are real, dude. These Americans on Twitter are going crazy right now. Okay. This one talks about Ronaldo. I think the 12th man. I think the 12th man could play a factor for sure in this game, based on the Australia game. I don't know how much of the Belgian fans are going to show up, but you saw the ruckus environment. And by the way, Seattle has always been like a great environment for all of sports. I mean, they got rid of their Supersonics team. Then you throw in the Seahawks. I mean, they had an earthquake when the one dude, Shahid, something like that was his name, took the opening kickoff in the playoffs back. So yeah. No, Frank, I'll have to do a little bit of a deeper dive on the 1994 World Cup, regarding all the other stuff. But no, I do expect, John, that, it's going to be a factor for sure, because Seattle's like one of those places that for sure could be a factor. They always have a great atmosphere, whether that is the Seahawks, whether that's the Seattle Sounders, and obviously any USA match. So kudos to my Bosnia, says Layla. I would say kudos to that as well. So yeah, no. Again, doesn't seem like any developments at the moment. We'll continue to monitor this thing as it goes on. I understand if Belgium actually deserved a red card. Okay. Some people are calling Belgium scared. A lot of Americans are calling Belgium scared right now. Dave Portnoy, all of a sudden. All of this crying from Europe is because of the one thing and one thing only. The rest of the world is terrified that we're getting good at soccer. I will say the USA is I have never seen Twitter like this. I have never seen the fact that everyone has been so against the USA. I've never seen so many. Then at the same time, I've also never seen the Americans. See, this is why I find America so awesome. Like, this is why I think our country is so great, is because people who do not care about this sport, who do not care about sports in general, you throw an American team, American individual, whatever it is, like you just slap the USA logo versus said country. All of a sudden, the whole country, who does not know a damn thing about the sport, has not watched the sport at all of a sudden will just die hard on this. They will die on this hill that USA needs to win whatever sport. I saw a comparison where you could throw a grandma knitting contest and you put a USA grandma versus a English grandma, whatever it is, in a knitting contest. All of a sudden, all the Americans who don't know a damn thing about knitting, don't care about it at all of a sudden are backing the USA. That's why I think USA is so funny and so great, because they back their sports teams. Myself, not a hockey guy. I'm not a big fan. I wouldn't say I'm not a big fan of the sport. I don't watch it very often, but all of a sudden you put the red, white, and blue, believe in miracles on the screen. You bet your ass I'm watching. Again, I don't watch track at all. I don't watch the world championships. I don't watch any swimming championships. I watch nothing regarding the Olympics. All of a sudden, you throw a USA flag on that. You put the USA versus another country. You bet your ass I'm watching. Like that's how crazy this is. And scrolling through Twitter right now, talking about this whole thing is just bizarre to me, because of the whole fact of they're backing the USA, they're backing everything. Like, this is just incredible stuff from all these fans. And I will tell you, and I know who some of these people that are tweeting, they don't know a damn thing about the sport. So that's exactly what it is. Again, don't see anything of the latest yet right now. Christopher Hinton says, which by the way, there used to be a Christopher Hinton used to play for the University of Michigan. He was a
I was about to say, the second I saw that name, I was like, that looks familiar.
Yeah, there was a Christopher Hinton that used to play for Michigan. Maybe it's that guy. Maybe it is. But I don't know. Shout out the Michigan Wolverines. United States have a good soccer support. I have seen the MLS crowds. Yeah, I just think though it's not showcased as much simply because it's not the mainstream that is the US, that is not the NFL, NBA, MLB, and all that stuff. So I don't think that gets replicated too much. So yeah, no, that's what it is. David says hello. Christopher Hinton said ha ha ha. Maybe it is the Michigan Wolverine. I doubt it though, but that'd be really cool if we had a Michigan Wolverine in the chat.
Oh, I would flip.
That'd be pretty cool. David just says hello. Well, hello, and hello to you too, David. But yeah, no, I was trying to get into this Cristiano Ronaldo rigged thing, but I mean, we can get into this Cristiano Ronaldo rigged thing. I mean, it doesn't seem like we've got any current updates on this whole this whole development on this whole Belgium USA thing. So I mean, we can get into. Oh, this is speaking. Hey, we do have another quote on it. Jurgen Klopp says about the reports that Donald Trump called FIFA President Infantino before Feller Balogun's suspension was lifted. He says if that really was the case, then that's crazy. This is our game, not theirs. These two people who have no idea, who both have no idea about football, should have nothing to do with that. That was a red card. There's no two ways about it.
Yeah, no. If that's the case, that is completely unacceptable. We were just talking about it on the break. That I made sure to tell Ryan. I was like, look, politics should never be in sports. It's the whole point of part of the point of sports is to get away from your politics. So it should never be involved. Like I get it's the USA team. Obviously, get fired up. Sure, White House can be all fired up. They can do their truths or tweets or whatever they want talking about the decision, but don't call them. Don't try to influence it. Leave it alone. It has nothing to do with the actual government of the United States. So leave it alone.
Yeah.
Let sports be sports and be its own thing.
Yeah. Dave, I guess David is actually a Canadian. Well, David, Jesse Marsh.
I am so sorry.
Jesse Marsh is a crybaby and a sore loser. So, yeah, that's exactly what it is. Hey, you gave it the good old college try, Canada.
No, I'm sorry. This is the first time I'm going to be controversial. No, they didn't. They didn't even try. That last match, they did not even try, bro.
They tried. They're just not good.
No, they didn't even try last match. I don't know. I was watching it. It did not look like there was much trying going on, Ryan. It did not look like much
There's
trying.
a difference. They just aren't good. That is the simple fact for Canada. They just aren't good, but they tried. But yeah, no, again, keep all the comments rocking and rolling here. Get your thoughts in. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hey, we're over 11. We're over 10 likes. You guys have been awesome. Hit the horn again. Yeah, no, that is. Hey, could we get 15 now? I was asking for 5 today. Which, by the way, obviously USA watch party later on today, and Spain Portugal watch party later on today. But you guys have been awesome in here today. We got to shout out David, our member Dave, who's been in here. Christopher Hinton, who might be a Michigan Wolverine for all I know. Layla, Jonathan, Frank, Odyssey. You have to give me that. I'm going to say Odyssey. That's all I'm going to say. I said Odysseo, but it looks like Odyssey now I look at it.
Well, let me find him.
But yeah, no. And my dad was in here earlier, so.
Yeah, it looks like Odiseo.
Odiseo.
I
don't know.
Odiseo.
Shout out everyone that's in here. Okay. Let's get into this Cristiano Ronaldo's rig thing. We haven't gotten to our members only thing.
Dave
yet.
over here spamming us.
Yeah, David is just spamming us at this point, or he's just mad that Canada. Hey, he doesn't really. I mean, he is boosting the algorithm, so I guess we'll take it. I mean, we'll take it, right? Dave from Scotland is saying spam. I guess they're boosting the algorithm. Yeah, I don't know if this is spam because he's got a couple different messages other than just hello, but. All right, is it rigged for Ronaldo? Because for the love of God, Thursday, which we didn't have a show on Friday, Thursday, that was something, man. Thursday was crazy for Ronaldo. I think it was rigged, dude, because I don't think that's a PK. I don't think that See, we've talked time and time again on this show and just in general and soccer social media. The game's gone. Is the game gone? Is the game gone? If we are calling that ball into the box that like touches the dude's hair, now Dave's all of a sudden an American fan. I don't know where he is.
Yeah,
but if that touches the dude's hair, and that's a red card. Now, and this is my biggest issue. Brazil, all of a sudden, he's a Brazil fan. Brazil got knocked out yesterday. Neymar retired. But the game is gone if we're calling that an offsides. Because how in the world is... Oh, it was spam. All of them got deleted. It was spam. Damn. Poor David. Anyway, if the rotation of the ball does not change, then why are we calling that an offsides? Because if the rotation of the ball changed... First off, the ball would have went somewhere completely different. But the rotation of the ball doesn't change. That should not have been overturned. That should have been a goal for Croatia. Croatia should have had a goal there. And we should have been equalized. So they had a fake penalty. And they had, obviously, the fake penalty. And then they had the fake offside call. So all I'm saying is, Ronaldo got the biggest benefit of the doubt. So for all the people out there that are like, Messi, Argentina, it's rigged, this, yada, yada, yada. Are we not going to look at what we just saw with Ronaldo? Are we a faint PK so he could score a goal, which, by the way, Fuller and Balogun's got more knockout goals than Cristiano Ronaldo. And then, obviously, we get the faint equalizer there, which, by the way, Luka Modric. Man, I love Luka Modric, even though he started out at Tottenham. He was an absolute baller. Jonathan says, so what I understand is that FIFA was not really listening to Belgium. I think, if I'm being honest, I think the USA knew that he was going to play. That's my conspiracy theory. That's my controversy, is that they knew. I think the USA knew everything that was going on. I just don't think the Belgium or anyone else in the world knew what was going on outside of the USA. That's all I got to say. But no, when I watch it, the Portugal one, it was rigged. And now obviously you look at today, which could potentially be Cristiano Ronaldo's final World Cup match against Spain, against Portugal's biggest rival. I'm not going to lie, I think Spain wins. I think this is going to be the last one of Cristiano Ronaldo. I think this is going to be the last Cristiano Ronaldo match of all time. I genuinely think that, because I think Spain's going to win tonight. I think it's going to go to extras. I think that they're going to win, and I think Spain is going to knock off Portugal today. So yeah, that's what I got to say on this one. I think Portugal is going to lose to Spain tonight. I think Lamine Yamal is going to show up and get the victory, and Portugal, Cristiano Ronaldo, is going to get sent packing. So that's what I got to say on that part.
So as just a quick update, they still haven't given us an actual decision yet, but Trump did release a statement saying he didn't think it was a foul, and that's why he gave FIFA a call. That's all he did, was ask for a review, according to the White House.
Okay, well, cool. Not much to say on that. Not much to say on that at all. But again, did it really influence the decision? I don't know. We'll have to just see what they come up with that time around. But all right, so we do got to get into our question of the day. We're gonna skip the Argentina Messi thing, Cape Verde thing. Let's just get into question of the day, and then we'll get into the members only stuff. We'll go more in depth on the USA versus Belgium, and then if something crazy happens where Balogun is banned again, we'll probably create a new little live stream for Inside the Game and just have like a breaking news stuff. So yeah. Swiss Michael into the chat. Welcome in. Complaining about refs is the last step to become a full soccer fan. If you can explain offsides, love from Swiss. Dude, he's not wrong.
It's so accurate.
He's not wrong. Like,
oh my gosh.
Like they're like in my friend group chats, everyone has been complaining about this whole Balogun situation. And I go, guys, if you follow this sport on a consistent basis, this happens on the regular. Like this VAR happens in the Prem, La Liga, all that fun stuff. Like if you were a true soccer fan, if you were a true soccer / football fan, whatever it is, this BS happens on the regular. Now, I've never seen it to this extent, but which, by the way, give Swiss Michael a horn, by the way. Give that man a horn. That's probably the best comment of the day. Offsides, still no one knows what offsides is. Shout out Ted Lasso for that. But this happens all the time in soccer, and I've watched NFL, NBA, college football, college basketball forever. But I have never seen in soccer soccer is the most like controversial foul call, offside call sport there is, man. Like I have never seen that. I've never seen this happen before. So he is 100% right. If you complain about the refs as much as anyone else does, you are officially a soccer fan in my book because, man, the amount of bitching that happens with the referees is just insane. James, you wanted to say something?
No, I was just going to say, like, the offsides and then the secret time. I still can't figure that out.
Yeah, the stoppage time. All right. Let's get into question of the day here on Inside the Game. We'll get into then our exclusive membership content. So if you want to be a member, you guys can go ahead and do that. We'll go more in depth in the USA-Belgium game. And then, And then if there is breaking news, we will definitely hop back on about Fuller and Balogun. If not, you'll see us later on at 3 o'clock or 2:45 p.m. Eastern for the Spain-Portugal game, then obviously USA. So what is, yup, it sucks, LOL. What's question of the day?
All right, so our question of the day today is competitive unity. How has the World Cup helped bring the world together?
I think it has brought the world. I really, again, maybe I didn't see it too much with Qatar. I didn't see it too much with Russia. Again, I wasn't on social media as much in 18 or 14 or 2010, anything like that. So I didn't really know about it. But in Copa America was something different. I thought I would have liked to see that a little bit more, but I haven't. And I just think that, every media outlet, whatever country will say a negative thing about said country, this country, whatever. And so everyone kind of has an opinion. Like I'm sure every person in the world has an opinion about the United States just based on their media. And I heard a European say it the best. He was like, if you listen to our English media, the United States is the worst country in the world. But if you come out and experience it for the first time, this is the best country in the world. They absolutely you're 100% right, Jonathan. Should have been a save. But I think just seeing all the different fans come together, the Mexico, South Korea fans, the Mexico, England fans. I haven't really seen it too much with the USA fans. And other than that, maybe that's just because I just haven't seen it. But like just seeing all the other ones, like I remember Andre Schura or whatever, the German sax guy, he became super popular in 2024 for the Euros. And this guy just, all he does is just play the saxophone and people love it for it. So I think the game itself, soccer as a whole, it's the most global sport in the world, obviously. Like, you will not get this reception for NFL, MLB, any of our American sports, but it feels like with soccer, and especially with the World Cup, that this just unites the world together as one. It brings everyone together for one common thing, and I think all the responses from every other, again, whether that's Mexico, whether that you're traveling to Mexico, whether you're traveling to Canada, or whether you're traveling to the United States to watch a game, it feels like the reception, the response from everyone is that this is a great continent, great people all over the place, and yeah, people are just loving it. And I think the sport just has a weird way of bringing everyone together. I mean, you could see all the people just trying different foods, going to the Buc-ee's and stuff like that. It just proves the politicians are the problem, not the citizens. You're right, Swiss. I've seen lots of videos like that. Well, maybe the politicians are just the problem, and I think there's definitely something to be said about that for sure. But yeah, no, I think you're right on that one as well, Swiss. And Swiss has been dropping in some bombs already today, dude. He's had some great comments on it. So yeah, no, it is definitely something that the world has definitely been unified a little bit, and definitely a time where I think the world needed to be unified based on all the crazy stuff going on in the world. So yeah, I definitely think the world needs to be unified, and soccer is doing that. Sports have a weird way of doing that though.
Can I actually show you, Ryan? There's actually video evidence of the world coming together. I mean, we got a guy from England coming over here and just celebrating. I mean, it's amazing. So let's go ahead. I'll show you guys. I mean, this is just the prime example right here.
When you're Brits who love America and you witness your country win a World Cup game in America.
Yeah, so this is a guy named Josh. He came over from England, and yeah, it's amazing to watch. Because, you know, all those stories, I mean, we keep seeing those where they're coming here, they're watching their home team, you know, their team come over and play in America or in Mexico or in Canada, and they're just discovering all these, you know, great things that they never even realized. Like, for instance, the TSA actually here in America had to put out a bulletin reminding everybody coming over here, like from Europe, that they have to put the ranch in a checked bag because apparently Europeans are just bringing ranch back home.
I have heard about that.
It's been amazing.
Swiss Michael says Canada definitely got infected by soccer. Well, they need to because their hockey team sucks. So.
And Jonathan coming in right here. Technically, you could call today Monday Night Football. That's true.
Well, I just would change it to FUTBOL instead of FOOTBALL.
Yeah, Monday Night Football.
Yeah, technically you are right. If you check out one of our YouTube shorts, it's like someone made a whole thing about it. It's like the Monday Night Anthem, and it shows everything. So. Yeah, no, well, appreciate everyone. Oh, I haven't seen a lot of people saying that Belgium has old players. De Bruyne is old, Lukaku's old, Courtois is old. Yeah, they definitely have got some aging players. Hey, but they also got some good ones. Leandro Trossard, and Trossard's also kind of old too. But they got some young ones like Doku. So, yeah, it's definitely going to be a challenge. All I'll say is this. I'm going to end it with this before we go into, which, by the way, you guys have been great today. I think this is our most liked live stream ever. I think we're up to 12. So if we get like 3 more before it ends, you guys have been awesome today. Absolutely love it. Back here tomorrow as well for 9 a.m. Same time for Inside the Game and also for the watch parties later today. And if we got any breaking news, but you guys have been great in there. Jonathan, Swiss Michael, Christopher Hitton, Layla, Frank, Odyssey, Dave has been in the chat. My dad has been in the chat technically. So you guys have been awesome today, and absolutely, you guys have knocked it out of the park. You guys have been great. Hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. But yeah, no, here's what I'll tell you. I do think whether Balogun plays or not, I do expect the U.S. men's national team to win. I do expect the U.S. men's national team to win today. I don't know how it's going to happen. I'm going to go 2-1 USA. It's going to be an extra time. They're going to win it in 120. Revenge for 2014. USA gets it done. We've got to redeem Tim Howard. USA all the way. They're going to beat Belgium, and they're going to lose in the next round. So James doesn't have to shave his head. But the USA will win tonight against Belgium. I expect a 2-1 victory over the Belgians. It's going to be awesome. Then we're going to lose in the quarterfinals. But this is all I asked for. I said months ago, just get to a quarterfinals, and I will be happy. They topped the group. They won a knockout game, but guess what? We've been in the round of 16 how many times before, and we've lost every single time. Win tonight. Get me to a quarterfinals. I've never seen it before. Swiss Michael is correct. Belgium is on the last run with their golden generation today or never. I think the USA without Balogun, or Balogun plays or not, I think is going to win. USA 2-1. Catch me later on today, 3:00 p.m. Eastern time. Unless you also, I forgot to say. So appreciate everyone that topped in. We'll be moving over to our members exclusive content. We'll go a deeper dive into like some of the tactics a little bit in terms of the Belgium USA game here today. So again, if you want to join the membership program, you guys can do that. We got to start getting some t-shirts out for these guys, man. We got to start getting some t-shirts out. And then obviously, if you want to get into exclusive content, you'll be entered into drawings and stuff for some of our giveaways as well. And we should give them a t-shirt too. We'll have to talk about that. But anyway, again, Inside the Game will continue tomorrow as well, 9 a.m. Eastern time, right here, as well as the watch parties for is it the biggest game in USA history? I did say that earlier. This is the biggest game in U.S. men's national team history, Swiss. Michael, it is 100% the biggest game ever. This is probably the biggest game since 2014 when we played Belgium, because everyone kind of thought that was kind of our run to, because we beat Ghana, we drew with Portugal, we gave Germany a run for money that won the World Cup. So yes, biggest match in U.S. men's national team history, Swiss, Michael. And by the way, I have a love-hate relationship with Granit Xhaka. That's all I'll tell you as an Arsenal fan. So, all right, moving on over to our exclusive membership content. We'll see you there. If not, we'll see you later for the watch parties. And if you don't tune in for the watch parties, we will see you bright and early. Last one, though. Not going to lie, I don't watch soccer before this FIFA World Cup, except for the U.S. women's team during the Olympics. I watched football and basketball, but I did play soccer as a kid. Well, appreciate you still learning loads about it. Well, Jonathan, if you tune in every day, you will learn more about the game. Well, let me know what teams you root for in terms of the football and basketball sides of things. But anyway, exclusive content right now. All right, welcome into our members-only content here on the National Soccer Network. Technically, episode 314. I don't know, but again, get your comments in if you don't have any. But I got a notification: Trump on Balogun red card. That's funny. But yeah, get your thoughts in. We are still going to continue to talk about the USA versus Belgium game. We're going a little bit more in depth on some of the tactics, but I do just want to go over something. The USA-Belgium lineups back in 2014. Belgium, Thibaut Courtois, Toby Alderweireld, Van Boyten, Vincent Kompany, Jan Vertonghen, Marcel Verten, Axel Witsel, Kevin De Bruyne, Mertens, and Eden Hazard and David Origi. Very good starting 11. Then you get to the U.S. men's national. Oh, and they subbed on Mignolet, Vermaelen, Lukaku, Kevin Morales, Nasser Yanazai. Okay. And then the U.S. men's national team: Tim Howard, Fabian Johnson, Omar Gonzalez, Matt Beasler, DeMarcus Beasley, Jeff Cameron, Graham Zusi, Jermaine Jones, Michael Bradley, and wait, that's not. Anyway, that's the last one. So anyway, I think that's a big difference in terms of the USA versus Belgium. But anyway, moving on into the game. A couple keys to victory for the U.S. men's national team. You've got to limit Kevin De Bruyne. You've got to limit Kevin De Bruyne and what he can do. KDB, again, this isn't 2017, 2018 Kevin De Bruyne. He's not that type of player, but he still has those moments of true quality. And Tyler Adams, Malik Tillman have got a big responsibility for stopping him. They've got a big responsibility for limiting him because what can Kevin De Bruyne do? Create chances for the offense, create chances for a Romelu Lukaku if he plays, and create chances for Jeremy Doku. That's another thing. We cannot allow Leandro Trossard and Jeremy Doku to get in one-on-one isolated situations because if you think about it, what hurt us in March? What hurt us in March was Jeremy Doku and whoever it was just running at us. Like, they were just running at us. Like, what? Like, and we couldn't defend it at all. And this is a game where Tim Ream scares the shit out of me. This game right here is the exact reason why I did not want Tim Ream to be a starter on this U.S. men's national team. I wanted him on the roster. Yes, I did. But did I want him playing a lot? No. This game right here is the exact reason why I did not want him to play at all. And Matt Freese is going to be tested for the